So, speaking of moot points,
We're going back to Suna, right?
Back to this clusterfuck.
yeah, we're going.
They're still discussing what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, they're still having a moot.
Yeah, they probably are.
How many months later is it? They're probably still having the moot.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole reason why Suna went to like 2 in her whole life before leaving for the Caldera. Her mom's like, "Congratulations, you have a life of this to look forward to."
Fuck that shit.
I
I'm
don't
out.
blame Suna one bit.
No.
I do.
So we heard you like Congress. And we heard you like Congress for months at a time. And now you're part of it.
The problem is
That's a different definition of Congress.
I was gonna say, she likes sexual. No.
No, let's not go there.
Egress.
Yes, welcome to the Average Adventuring Party podcast, where we do not discuss the sex lives of foxes.
Says you. Wink.
I mean, yeah, if the listeners want to come onto the Discord server and discuss it there, sure, I'll allow it.
We know your furries are out there.
I'm
Hit Suna up.
I'm surprised with Suna being a main character that we don't have more in that demographic.
Give them the goods. And by that, I mean
They have
the flying
to. They have to
chip.
join Discord, or pay more to get the goods. I don't come cheap.
For the $69 a month tier, we'll pretend Discord exists. Oh.
So,
Back to this clusterfuck.
nonsense. Saved the best for last.
This clusterfuck. Right.
It's a flustercuck.
We get to stab lots of people now, right?
No, that's not the point, unfortunately.
Oh,
That was our last campaign.
The character I'm playing as is going to try to get stabbed a few times.
That's a different kind of stabbing.
with what? Would be the question.
Use your imagination.
Big things.
They call me Fisto.
Where we also don't discuss tiefling sexual politics.
I thought that's exactly what we discussed multiple times throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
No, the conversations that I've had with you guys outside of the recordings are immaterial, just for your information only.
Oh, yeah, and the other timeline wasn't recorded.
Oh, yes, yes.
Because there was a lot of that, sure.
Eh. So, Ardith.
Again, back to this clusterfuck.
Do you remember how to Ardith?
No, I do not. We're gonna relearn as we go. I'm looking at all my notes from that finale. I'm like, what is going on here?
Do you remember which end of the knife goes into people?
The pointy end.
There you go. That's like 75%.
Now, are you angry?
Her sister's been kidnapped. Of course she's angry.
Okay, there's the other 25% of Ardith.
And art makes up the last 112%.
For all the good it does her.
Well, for the last 6 months, Ardith has been working her way steadily north from between the border towns and up through the plains, through the mountains, to the sovereignty capital of Sixway.
And only leaving bodies when absolutely necessary.
It's been kind of difficult for you because, you know, your family always made the jokes about having wanted posters. You actually do. In fact, you've had to use your stealth talents and disguise talents so much more in the last few months than you ever have, just to be able to get into the capital. So we cut to Ardith, who's standing on a pagoda rooftop overlooking a section of the city of Sixway called the Waterfall District, or the Waterfall Wheel. Famously known for its
Waterfalls?
Yes. In fact, there is a waterfall that streams up instead of down.
Just because, or because there's actually a reason for it.
Just because some archmage within the sovereignty decided during the creation of the city that's how it would be.
So, a fucker with too much time on his hands.
Too much time and power. Same as always. Yeah. Shannara has been spotted multiple times in the Waterfall District. Always under guard. And
Is that under guard with, air quotes or actually under guard?
from what you've been able to find out, she is always accompanied by 20 to 30 guards.
Damn, girl! Whose balls did she kick?
I mean,
Don't know if kicking was involved.
Well,
but,
for certain people, there was no kicking involved unless someone asked for it. The other way...
fair.
Oh, wait, whose balls did Mom kick to stir up this anthill?
well, that's kind of funny in that, from what you've been able to see, your mother hasn't actually responded at all.
Okay, good.
There are a fair number in the border, coming up from the border towns. Mm-hmm. There were a fair number of dead spike jacks, hung up on display.
Mm-hmm. They're no longer hung up.
And there hasn't, you haven't seen any after you cross the mountains. Mm-hmm. But from what you can tell, you've seen at least one or two of the Emperor's children while you've been in town. They tend to make public appearances.
There's also a lot of them.
And there's a lot of them. They might travel with a couple of guards. From what you've been told by your sources, she is under guard. She is a prisoner.
Well, I mean, you can easily tell who she's related to.
Yes. She is very distinct.
That makes her of political interest.
Yep. So that's where we'll pick up with, is you sitting on this rooftop at night, overlooking this gigantic plaza full of people. Mm-hmm. When at the opposite end, you see several sovereignty guards march in. They're wearing more formal armor, so almost ceremonial.
More robe than actual armor.
Correct. And amongst them, you see Shannara. She is well dressed. She's got... The last time you saw her, she had kind of messy hair and, bandoliers all over the place. Mm-hmm. She is in a particularly fancy kimono, mm-hmm. Up to and including the severe bun on top of her head. She looks very well kept.
So by severe bun, you mean more headdress than hair? Or not quite that far?
No, it's just like she's got that perfectly round bun on top of her head.
Just a simple thing.
She goes to one of the stalls, and when she does, several of these guards move with her. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's going to be damn near impossible to get through them to her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Art's probably sitting up there, maybe. Well, no, we're not going to fuck with anything shiny right now. Watching this and, going through plans in her head of how many of these guys she needs to disable to get to her sister, discarding that plan, doing a new one, discarding that one, and then, looking up at where they've been keeping her nearby, the building.
You have no idea.
Okay. Or, trying to think, okay, probably going to have to sneak into wherever they're holding her and might have a chance of getting her out then. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's just doing that calculations over and over and discarding plans and new plan and same plan and...
Yeah, if you were to take this head on, you would have to go through a small army.
Yeah, which I'd be willing to do for my sister.
Sure.
But let's not go there until we have to.
The big problem that you've seen so far is there's pretty much a patrol on every other corner. So if you start a fight...
Yeah, there's going to be another small army coming to reinforce them.
Yes. The sovereignty has recently scaled back their campaign in the Enchanted Forest. There's been a large influx of troops back into the city.
Damn it, Suna, you just made my job harder. I love you, Ray.
While this is happening, you see a couple of those guards sort of step aside and start talking to one another, and both of them take their eyes off of Shannara, who moves on to the next stall. She doesn't seem to have noticed. She moves on to the next stall, She's about 3 or 4 stalls away from them, seemingly by herself.
Oh. Okay, how far are these stalls from me?
If you drop down, maybe like a minute's walk through the crowd.
And are there any, like, places I could duck in?
Places, there's some stalls, but mostly it's people. As long as you stayed out of the center of this plaza where the waterfalls are coming down, you can pretty much have your choice of hiding places.
Okay. Well, we're going to give this a try. Art's going to get down from the roof of this thing and do the Assassin's Creed walk through the...
Pulls the hood up over her head.
Well, maybe not so much that, but, the casual walk through a crowd, not really drawing their attention, moving through stealthily, and ducking, well, not acting like part of the crowd and not drawing attention.
So as Ardith is moving through the crowd, you get about to the halfway point, and the guards kind of like turn and look over at Shannara, see she's a little ways away, and then start talking amongst themselves again. There's a couple of them. There's just this big knot of them. A couple on the outside are kind of scanning the rooftops and looking around. But for the most part, they're kind of they look comfortable in this routine.
They've been doing this too long. Thank God.
You get, I'd say probably 100 feet away from her when you feel this hand grab your arm, and you hear a voice go, "Excuse me, miss."
And I'm in her head. She's like, "I should stab your dumbass right now. I'm almost there." Well, she's not really going to try to grab her sister. Her intention is just to get close enough that she can make eye contact with her and then move out of the way. Like, I'm here. Your backup is here. I'm working on it. But she will very uncharacteristically, politely turn around and look at this. Yes, sir?
There's an older gentleman with a long, sort of wispy beard that tapers down, probably past his belly button. He's got, I'm certain there's a name for it, but a square boxy hat on his head.
With the little flat top that goes over it.
A little pair of spectacles on his nose, and he seems to be holding a watch. And he's looking at you. "Do you know anything about this?" And he kind of just like shakes it, and it rattles. He says, "I'm late for something."
You're late for some. I'm sorry. I'm not a watchmaker.
Oh. Could you just look at it and tell me what time it is? I can't quite see it. I don't even think it's working.
Sure. I mean, she's like blank expression, trying to be as polite as possible. I don't think he's going to look, but the only emotion you can see in her is like in her eyes, like, "God damn it. I was so fucking close." But she will bend and look at the thing, still trying to be casual in this crowd so those soldiers won't, notice her. What am I looking at here?
There is a pocket watch that everything seems right on it. He shook it a little bit and it didn't make any noises. It looks like it just needs to be wound.
Let's try winding it. Maybe that will solve your problem. And if not, I guess you're going to have to find a watchmaker.
Oh, very...
Wind.
Yeah, Ardith winds it, hands it back to him.
Is that better?
He sort of like gently lets go of your arms. Well, thank you, thank you. I still can't see what time it is.
Okay, I'll take it back and look at it. What time is it?
We'll say it's going on like the last bell of the night before everybody starts shutting down. Mm-hmm. And while Ardith is looking at it, you hear just this loud parade whistle.
Shit.
Right where Ardith was going to be sneaking past Shannara, another patrol steps out of a alleyway and starts talking, and all the guards snap to attention.
Yeah. In the middle of when she hears that sound, her head snaps up, looks that way. It's like, oh shit.
The old man takes the watch back and shakes it. They need to make these with bigger letters.
You should suggest that to someone.
You know what? You're right. I'll find a watchmaker.
Find a watchmaker and let him know that would be a great product for the older generation.
You can call it the jitterbug.
The old man like reaches over and pats you on the hand, and like reaches up his sleeve and pulls out some kind of candy.
Aw.
Okay.
Hands it to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I am. And he puts his hands up his sleeves and shuffles into the crowd.
Arthur will stand there a minute holding this candy and just watching him go like, okay, what the fuck was that?
Ardith watches him kind of shuffle into the crowd, and he bumps into quite a few people. He seems to be blind. Or see...
All but.
Yeah, all but. Because he'll bump into someone and be like, oh, excuse me. And he'll pat him and then, walk in another straight line until he hits another stranger. So, excuse me. Just walk in another straight line. And then he disappears down a side road.
Scusi.
Miss Scusi. When Ardith looks back, the guards have surrounded Shannara again.
Fuck.
And you hear one of them say, let's head back to the villa. We'll tuck her in and accompany you on the run. At which point the other patrol kind of nods and says, we'll meet after the last bell.
Okay, new plan. Artist's going to scale a building, and she's going to parkour her way following them as stealthily as she can.
Yeah, you follow them quite a ways. You're able to kind of stay on some of the larger rooftops and see their route through the city, and they're taking a very long, circuitous route through the city.
I got nothing but time.
Yeah. The city, it doesn't quite die down after the last bell, but all the legitimate traffic tends to leave. So within, 20 or 30 minutes, the streets are emptied, and you're able to see them go into the gate on this villa, and you see the guards start changing shifts.
Mm-hmm. How close can I get to this villa?
It's got a moat and a waterfall coming off the base of it, so probably a couple of blocks.
Okay. So it's one of those, like there's a house there, there's grounds around it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get as close as I can with a good view, settle in, and start watching these people. Because this is a new routine I need to follow.
Yeah, so you start watching them. There's not really a formal changing of the guard. It's just, once this group gets back, some people start changing out, and then a large contingent of them leave. There's maybe 10 lights in the yard that you can see, and there's one or two at the gate.
Okay. So I'm watching them take her in, and she's just going to, case the grounds and maybe see if she can, count. But based on the size of the place, she's like going to mentally count out, okay, about how long would it take them to get her to a room, and see if she can see a light go on in a room.
You don't see a light go on, but there's definitely activity. So this villa has multiple levels, and it kind of has this walkway around each level, sort of like a balcony. And you do see a significant number of servants like moving about now that the troops are back. As you're sort of watching this down below you, there's this alleyway, and you see someone literally like grab onto the wall and peek around it and look both ways, look at the villa, and then duck back down the alley.
Like, is it a nearby building,
Yeah,
or next to the building I'm on?
we'll say it's like 1 block over,
Okay.
but it looked like a younger person, and they're particularly conspicuous.
So still most keeping half an eye on the villa and its goings-ons. I'm going to make my way over towards that alley. If nothing else, I'm going to scare the living daylights of some poor kid. Because they need to be taught a lesson in stealth.
Yeah, so you hop onto the roof of this building and look down into the alley. He's got, it looks like some kind of chalks in his hand, and is drawing something on a wall. And if you hop over to the other building and look down, there is, imagine, if you will, maybe 5 foot from top to bottom, just a hyper-realistic foxtail that is a circle. So it's like the little bushy tail, white bit at the top, and it circles around itself.
Like a spiral, or like the Firefox logo without the fox?
Firefox, not a sponsor,
But if you want to be.
but I don't think they actually make any money, so...
That's true.
No, just think of like a picture frame. So it's just framing. Inside the frame of this tail, there is a very beautiful stylized emerald that's in a completely different style from the tail. At the top of it, just kind of scrawled into it, it just says Sugihara lives. And then underneath the tail, there is a fox skull. And the kid is in the midst of scrawling in the fox skull.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to say why to this poor kid. But Ardith will drop down quietly behind him. What's in the alley besides the kid and the drawing?
Mostly trash. Like this just looks like a through
Like trash on the ground or trash in bins?
mostly trash on the ground. Like this looks like an accidental alley.
I just want to point out, Suna is now like punk rock graffiti.
That like this is a tiny alley that was created when 2 buildings went up too close to each other. And honestly, from the street, you probably wouldn't even notice this was here. So nobody's ever going to see this art.
It's really good, though.
No?
It's got like 5 different styles in it.
Yeah, I'm going to drop down behind this kid silently, watch him for a little bit, like, that's not bad.
He lets out a very girlish scream, like throws up his hands and chalk goes everywhere.
Yeah, ours is just casually standing there, and then when he screams, just kind of goes, shh, puts her finger to her lips.
He like looks around. Are you with the guard? You have to tell me if you're with the guard.
Hell no.
Oh.
What's all this then?
Well, my brother got sent to the Enchanted Forest, and he came back with some stories, and
He's seen some shit, man.
Yeah, he probably has.
At least he's not a ghost.
There's also that.
He told me about the people who live there, and so I thought I would raise awareness, but I can't do it out on the main road because one of my friends, They actually conscripted him for doing art like this. So I'm doing it here, and I know nobody's ever going to see it, but I'll know, and I'm sure somebody will come through the alleyway and see. And if I do this in a bunch of places, and he while he's talking, he's bending down, and he's like, "Oh, you know where I can get another one of these?" And he holds up a broken chalk stick.
I might. And she'll dig through her back and pull out a brand new one for him.
Oh, score. He takes it, starts, working on the skull. And as you watch him, he switches. He pulls out some paint to throw in there as well. And you are 99% certain as he starts painting fur on the other half of this fox skull that's Suna.
Yeah. So what's the story behind all this?
I don't know. He told me about this revolutionary that was there. So I hear that mentioning fox people is a very bad thing now. So it's good for art.
Yes, it is.
Is this kid's name Kawapsi? Just wondering.
He says, "Do you mind, standing guard for a few minutes?"
Sure.
Not that I appreciate critique and all, but I don't want someone to see me doing this. And you seem like you're good at giving warnings and getting out without being seen, so...
I might be.
Oh, well, there you go.
And she leaves.
I'm not abandoning this kid. I've already scared the fucking daylights out of him. But yeah, she'll take a position at the conspicuous end of this alley and just keep an eye out, but mostly watching the kid.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
While you're doing that, you can see several of the guards who were on the walls of the villa leave. There is this... so you're watching the guards leave, and you have that moment of okay, clearly opening, right? And the kid goes, "Hey, what color should I use for this? How do I mix that?"
What's he asking about? Particular.
He looks like he's starting to draw a boat somewhere near it.
The raft of the damned.
So what are you trying to achieve here, kid? I mean, I can actually put some actual art direction in here if you give me something to work with. Boat is not an answer.
No. How do I do wood?
Oh, start with brown and just put a brown base coat on there, and then you're gonna do some really thin striations here. And if you want to go more detailed, you can put the planks, but I don't know how big you're gonna do this. But yeah,
So while
with striations.
Give it eyes.
while you're going through this with him, you hear something overhead, and you see several guards on flying carpets. Just maybe 24 of them pass right over your area. And when you look back, the kid has done a pretty good job of...
Yeah, just like that.
He goes, "I think I've pushed my luck enough tonight. I'll come back and finish it tomorrow. Are you going to be around tomorrow?"
I can be.
So here, same time?
Yeah, sure. One more question before you go, kid.
I've got a girlfriend.
No.
Oh,
You're cute, but no. Who's Sugahara?
Prince Sugahara.
Which one of the many, many princes is that?
He holds up two fingers as the one who was assassinated a few months ago.
Assassinated. Why would someone assassinate him other than he's the son of the emperor?
Well, ostensibly, it was because someone from the authority killed him, but I don't think so. I think it had something to do with the Enchanted Forest.
That's interesting.
I mean, my brother said he's probably still alive. Because, the authority, they're not... they're just like a bunch of merchants and stuff. They don't really send people to kill things. And
He's so right, but he's so wrong.
Yes. Ardith has tried very, very hard not to just break while laughing.
And the centaur plains like is like, what the fuck?
I mean, she's like...
my fist itch.
She's like biting her lip to try not to just give this kid this smile that's going to make him feel, what's the word? Like, demeaning, like...
Reassured.
Yeah, she's not going to destroy that illusion right now. You hold on to that kid.
Oh, even if he's not, like, it's a good, what do you call it? When you spread rumors about things that aren't true to confuse people.
Good for morale.
Yeah,
Psyop.
yeah,
Sure.
give people something to believe in, right?
Yeah. Any chance I could maybe talk to your brother about what he saw in the Enchanted Forest?
You're gonna be here tomorrow, right?
Yes, I will be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bring him.
Barring complete and utter disaster.
My
That's a
plan
very
goes wrong.
that's very specific.
Life can be very specific.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna stash these here, and he just like puts all of his art supplies under a pile of trash because you have stuff. I wouldn't get caught with it. They don't like it when you scroll on the buildings.
They can go fuck themselves.
I was gonna say, I think that's Ardith's biggest concern right now. Scrawling on the buildings.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you here tomorrow. And as he's walking down the alley, he turns back around. He's like, I'll bring my brother. And he kind of trips, as he's walking backwards. He's like, I mean, yeah.
Get home safely, kid.
Yeah. You too, strange art lady.
Yeah, Ardith will give him a little salute as he walks out and wait a little bit before, going back up.
When you turn back around,
Mm-hmm.
those flying carpets have passed over and are now way off in the distance.
Yeah, I'm going to stare at the chalk drawing and look at him like, what have you been up to, Suna? What the fuck?
Suna's gonna get lots of cookies from Galdrian for having her own poster.
I mean, you already
I'm
have
not
your own
that
poster.
I'm not wanted.
No, you're wanted, honey.
Well, I mean, but it's not a wanted poster.
This is not a wanted poster. You're part of art. You're part of street art. You're a mural.
She deserves extra cookies.
Let me find out what you've been doing and we'll discuss that. That's
The cookies might be outweighed by the army of the damned that you speak for now. I mean,
And the
maybe.
airship you've got full of them.
No. Always need cookies.
More cookies because the army of the damned.
Yeah. You gotta console me.
So as you're watching, it seems like there is a very minimal guard on the house.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay out the house now, since I know where they're keeping her.
Yeah, so you can walk from side to side to side. Nobody seems to notice you because most of them are focused around ground level. At one point, though, you do see Shannara step outside onto the balcony.
Okay, and I'm taking note of what floor that is and where on this house.
It will say it is the top floor on the north side.
Okay, top floor north side. I mean, I'll just either gonna crouch down in some places and make notes and sketches of this place.
So as you're sketching, there's a whistle from a couple streets over, and most of the guards run to the front gate, leaving the backside of the house exposed.
Her's gonna have a nice little conversation with herself, like, okay, this could be an opening. This could also be get very bad very quickly.
Do it.
Again, fuck it. We're going in. Fuck this, we're going in. I'm not gonna try. Not gonna get her out. The plan is not to get her out. The plan is to make contact.
Yeah.
So, stealth away.
So you're actually able to just make a couple of bounding leaps off of this building onto the fence, up to a tree, up to that villa, and then scramble up to the third floor. When you do so, you step onto the balcony, go to turn a corner, and a maid just bumps into you with drinks and just splashes tea all over you.
Don't care.
And she's like, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Pulls out a
You're
rag
fine.
and like starts.
No, you're fine. You're
Oh,
fine. It's
oh,
okay.
hi-
It's okay.
oh, hi-
It's okay.
oh, hi-
It's like gently take her hands. Like, it's okay.
No,
breathe.
no.
Breathe.
No,
Breathe.
hold on. Listen.
Breathe.
And she just kind of like, it's like, I can get this. I can get this out. Just don't.
It's okay.
And she's like, oh wait, hold on. There's a bathroom right behind you.
Okay.
And she's like, let's go in, and I can get this out. I promise.
Okay.
And she opens the door, steps, like kind of gently nudges you in, goes to step in, and you hear someone behind you go, excuse me, what are you doing? And you recognize Shannara's voice. And the maid goes, oh, I am terribly sorry. Excuse me. And just closes the door.
Just shove me in and close the door.
Yep. And then turns around and goes, oh, I'm sorry. Begging your pardon. And you hear several guards pass by.
Holy shit! What the fuck is going on?
No, you are.
Ardith has never been this lucky in her life.
Yeah, you are in a room. Shannara is in her. Basically, she's in bindings and is taking makeup off of her face. And, she says, excuse me, I asked you a question. Who are you and what are you doing in my bath chambers?
Dear Lord, how long does it take you to get all that stuff off of you? How is your skin not breaking out and like crazy when you were 13?
You see, like, her eyes narrow, and she comes over to you, looks you up and down. He goes, you can't be here. You're not supposed to be here. Get out.
Someone seems to be conspiring to get me here because I have never been this fucking lucky in my life.
She takes off the bindings around her chest, wraps them around her eyes, and says, you can't be here. I can't see you here.
Okay, then I never was here.
So you're going to leave?
In a minute.
It better be a quick minute, because the Emperor knows you're here now.
The Emperor can go fuck himself.
I don't think that's how that particular meeting is going to go. You really, really do need to leave here. Very soon.
And I will.
And from somewhere far off in the distance, you hear, towards the palace at the center of Sixway, you hear several loud alarms go off. Shannara says, he can see through my eyes. And he can hear what I'm saying. So he knows.
Oh my, that's just another reason for me to stab his eyes out.
Well, that's probably a solution to this problem. I would suggest you find a different one. Because I'm bound to him. Technically, I don't know what that will do for me.
We're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah. Amongst other things.
Amongst other things. One of them which is getting you out of here.
That is important, yes.
I'm not saying it's happening right this second, because
Well, that's good, because there's probably going to be 100 guards here in just a few minutes.
normally I'd look forward to that.
Not while they're under the Emperor's protection, you wouldn't. This is his city.
Challenge accepted.
Well, I'm not going to tell you no, but I am going to tell you that attacking the palace, bad idea.
Good to know.
Just listen, I know how you operate.
Do you?
Yes. You really need to go, like, now. And she kind of whistles and snaps her fingers, and one of the doors opens. Standing behind it is a very tall figure in black robes. You see skeletal hands and feet. There's
This fucker.
there's a clank as his scythe like hits the top of the door. He's like, "Oh, excuse me.
Can I help you?
Oh, I don't know. She called me." And Shannara says,
Oh, you're on talking terms, are we?
"Could you please escort my sister out and away?" And Death kind of looks around. Certainly, is there time for tea first? And
Well, I've got tea all over me, so
oh,
I'm going to say no.
what a shame.
I know.
He looks at Shannara and says, "I'll take her through the secret passageway." And Shannara says, that was bad for you to say. At which point Death goes, "Right, this way."
I'm going to try to stab him, aren't I? I was asking Shinar this, like, he's going to make me want to stab him, isn't he?
Him?
Yes.
Oh, no, he's just pedantic.
That's a yes. And before Ardith leaves, she's going to, like, take Shinar by the shoulders. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here. I'm going to get you out of here. And get you somewhere safe. But I'm here. And then hug her really, really tight.
Shannara is just kind of standing limp. And then eventually just sort of pushes you away. Says, you really need to go. He's coming.
Mm-hmm. Again, he can go fuck himself. And Ardith will follow Death out.
Yep. Death takes you down into the cellar. Mm-hmm. And pushes on a false wall, which opens up. And he goes, "This way. Mind the head."
Mm-hmm. You first.
Oh, very well. And he clangs his scythe on the ground and it lights up.
I'm going to follow him.
Yeah.
I'm making him lead.
He leads you in and closes the door. Goes, it's rather good to be attached to someone other than your sister. She's quite moody.
Oh, you have no idea.
No, I do, ever since the whole arrest a month or so back.
Yeah. You're talking about when... Wait, what arrest? Because it's been 6 months since Cold Air, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually... So Ardith started talking like the arrest when what's-his-face took her to the Emperor's care.
Oh.
And Ardith's like, wait, what?
When the commander and lieutenant commander were arrested a month ago.
Which ones?
Kiyoshi and Chiasa.
Why were they arrested?
Well, I couldn't argue the case, you see, mostly because they couldn't hear me or see me, and neither could the guards. Mm-hmm. But I was there. They said that they were arrested for the assassination of Prince Sugihara, which is strange because a lot of people are saying that the 5-Star Authority assassinated the prince.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, it's particularly weird that they would arrest 2 of their most loyal commanders for it. It was strange Ever since, she was in the caldera, Utano. Ever since she left, things have just gone downhill.
As if they weren't already?
Well, it is what it is. You have to understand, I am at the bottom of my particular barrel, being that my only mission in life is to kill you, and I cannot, in fact, kill you. So everything is bleak from my point of view.
Oh, but you can have the popcorn and watch it.
No, I cannot, unfortunately.
Okay, you can have tea and watch it.
Yes, even tea is losing its luster.
Wow. Shit must be real for you to admit that.
I tried to comfort your sister in that her lovers are still alive.
I'm sorry, what?
He stops and you see his bony forehead kind of knit together. I thought that was a fairly straightforward and simple sentence. Which part of that are you having trouble processing?
Number one, multiple lovers. Number two, the identity of said lovers.
Oh, yes, I'm... it is, how you would say, a well-known secret in court that the Emperor is planning to marry your sister off to one of his sons for political purposes, but she is
Good luck with that.
most enamored with the commander and the lieutenant commander.
The previously mentioned commander and lieutenant commander.
Yes.
Aha! She no longer has any room to talk about my relationships.
Well, I tried to tell her that they're still alive, but
Which is good.
she seems inconsolable.
Okay,
They're-
suddenly her mood is making a lot more sense.
Oh, no, that's something else.
What else?
He kind of narrows his eyes a little bit. Your sister is trying to get rid of me.
I can't imagine why.
I understand that having the shadow of death hovering over your person constantly is an issue. But I think I happen to be quite likable and enjoyable.
If you weren't lurking around waiting to kill us, yeah, you could be very likable and enjoyable company.
I'm glad somebody else admits that. This way, not that way. Mm-hmm. That way goes towards the palace.
Noted.
This way. And he kind of leads you down another passageway that runs by a waterfall. He says, yes, she's quite concerned with the fact that she's figured out how to break my contract. Apparently she has, and I quote, nothing but time and anger.
That's my girl. And you've met me. You should know the depths of what a Valahara woman can delve into anger.
Well, to be fair, I only met you once 6 months ago.
And I tried to kill you very, very hard and deeply.
All right, that's point taken.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think she is most concerned about that. I myself am concerned because as I exist only to service that contract, I don't actually know what will happen when it's broken.
What, you don't just reset into a new specter of death with the new contract?
I don't think so. I don't know. It's interesting. When I am not summoned, I don't exist. And then suddenly I do exist. It's very hazy.
Do you like this being this version of you?
I don't know. This is the only version of me I've been for so long. Usually I'm quite efficient.
Sorry to break your record.
Well, the record's not broken yet.
I mean,
There was,
for efficiency.
several months ago, there was a very brief blip from one of you. So I'm still holding out hope that it's possible. I know that I can't kill you.
Keep dreaming.
I don't sleep.
Yeah.
That's an odd turn of phrase.
But we intend to
and
be...
particularly exclusionary for the undead.
We intend to be a problem for you for a very long time, so get used to it.
Well, as long as I'm not stuck with any given one of you for as long as I've been stuck with your sister.
Who's to say he's not leading you to your death right now? He's like, oh, oops, my bad.
Welcome to hell, my friend.
Who was the blip?
Oh, gee, I wonders.
I
Right?
know, but you don't know.
Yeah.
What's that?
Meet the-
Galdrigan.
Yeah.
Someone you actually cared
No,
about.
No.
Now you survived this long. And you survived before you met Ardith, so you're okay. The one person she was worried about was Shannara.
No.
The rest of you have survived this long.
Be that as it may, I suggest you enjoy my company while it lasts. Now that you're back within my sphere of influence and not away,
That was not my choice.
if you so choose, and please do, your sister is trying
Trying.
in her pregnancy.
I'm sorry, what?
He looks at you and says, yes, that's how she breaks the contract. I am, how you say, voided in the presence of new life.
That, again,
Oh, Suna's gonna be so upset if it's Kiyoshi's.
who else is it going to be? that
Comes out with golden hair and an obnoxiously pretty face. Gal's like,
keep dreaming, buddy.
One time.
that was another timeline. That doesn't count.
Suddenly, her being moody about breaking her contract makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
And
I think she did it on purpose.
Oh, I'm going to shake that girl.
No, that's very bad for children.
Yes, but the baby's not born yet. It's
Although, you would be doing me a favor.
no. Oh, absolutely not. I'm going to watch you squirm.
No.
And I'm going to enjoy it.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, should you call my name with purpose, I will make it a priority to come to you.
And you're so eager to get away from my sister, aren't you?
That I don't believe has anything to do with it. That is just merely a happy coincidence.
Yeah, pull the other one.
He just kind of stares at you.
Yeah, Ardith's got this slightly smug smile on her face just because someone's been tormenting this asshole.
He, pops out his stool and sets it down and says, well, if you're going to be like that,
I'm always like that.
I'm going to enjoy a spot of tea. The exit is that way.
Okay.
Maybe you should find a way to get your other friends inside my sphere of influence. Perhaps they will appreciate my company more.
Oh, I appreciate your company.
I'm still not giving you any tea.
I don't want any of your tea. You can have all the tea you can have. I've had enough tonight, as you can see. And I have things to do, unfortunately.
Well,
It was a pleasure seeing you again.
compared to your sister, yes, I agree.
That's my girl.
Well, have fun.
I'll try.
He reaches up his sleeve and pulls out a mug of tea.
And Ardith will whip him a salute. Not the one-fingered salute. And head on out the exit. And see where this spits her out.
Yep. You emerge behind a waterfall on a very, very narrow ledge. As you're trying to decide which way to go, you look back down the hallway and you just hear boots hammering away. The passageway you were in with death just fills with guards. One of them points a spear in your direction and says, "Come with us or go over the edge. It doesn't matter to me."
So what's below the ledge?
Water.
Just water?
You're behind a waterfall at full capacity.
About how deep does the water look behind the waterfall? In front of the waterfall.
So it's probably like the waterfall itself, maybe 15 or 20 feet. Down below, hard to tell. But you know that Six-Way connects to the ocean. So it, in places, is pretty deep. Like full-size ships can get through the canals here.
And what's to the left and right?
A very, very narrow walkway. Death kind of takes a step back from all the people, passes through a couple of them who shiver, and Death kind of looks and says, maybe it was the other direction we were supposed to go.
No, I want to do something, but I don't think that spell was available to me at the moment. Or would you know off the top of your head if, like, a minor illusion is within what I could do if I prepared that spell for the day?
Probably not.
Okay, I didn't think so. Because it would have been cool. But okay. Ardith will just, like, flip them off and then start going down that very narrow ledge. Because she's very athletic and very dexterous.
So as Ardith is walking down the ledge, one of the guards like pokes his head out, sees you, and goes, "Bring in the cannon." At which point you hear something very big and stompy coming down the hallway, and a large metal, wrought iron and metal and glass arm just sticks its hand out towards you, and you can see flames beginning to burble out of it.
I'm going to get down that pathway double time.
So as you go to do that, the fire like belches out, hits the wall beside you, and Ardith slips and falls down the waterfall.
Fuck these assholes.
Along with a significant portion of the dirt and grass and rock that make up the rock wall.
But how far did I manage to get down?
That's a good question.
Well, at least you're not chasing the waterfall.
That's what my sister is.
That guard captain, his name is Jason Waterfalls. He's a real asshole. Yeah, so I think that's where we'll stop for this session, as Ardith tries to escape and ends up plummeting to her death. It's been a good session, you guys.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Oh,
Make
man.
Death happy.
Fuck death.
It will also make Tommy Lee Jones happy, Oh, wait.
Yeah, I should have put a one-armed villain. That's all I got. You guys got anything?
Nope.
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 I didn't
There.
have to rogue, so yay.
Yep. So find us at the places, do the things, leave reviews, sponsor F-bombs, all the fun stuff.
Tell us how we're doing. Tell us how
Anything.
badly we're doing, how good we're doing.
Yeah.
Speak to us.
Yeah. We want to talk to you guys. Come on.
Give us money.
That too.
I would just settle for people telling me I was an asshole.
You're an asshole.
I was
You
about
get
to
enough
say.
of that from.
I was gonna
from
say you
Table.
guys aren't people. So
Oh.
He killed my
You're
character,
right.
guys.
We're
Help.
voice actors.
all right, that's all I got. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.